I started learning to use like FL and other programs fairly early on. Some of my other friends were doing producing as well. One of my best mates makes music under the name NJF, and I liked what he was doing at the time, and I just wanted to try it out for myself. The progression so far has just been weird, because it started off as just like a little hobby. I didn't really expect it to go anywhere. And then when people started responding to it, that encouraged me to just do it more and just sort of put more time into it. I never expected to be out here doing shows now. Like, that's not something that I ever expected to happen. One of the most important things that I guess I've learned from 5 years of production is to just keep making music that you like. You know, just don't start catering to any sort of audience. Just keep on making music that you want to hear. Like, 'cause that's all it is really, just having fun making music and just being able to listen to it at the end of it and naturally just being hyped about it and not just being like, yeah, that's of a certain style or it's catering to a certain audience. It just needs to be like real, you know what I mean? Like, if you've completely forgotten what one of your own tracks sounds like and then you listen to it again, it's like you're listening to it with fresh ears. It's like listening to someone else's music for the first time. I don't know, it helps. Sometimes you appreciate the track even more than you did. Or sometimes you just think, wow, why did I put that out? Like, a good place to start, if you're trying to start making music, is to just go through loads of different sounds, just experiment with them, just find things that you like. Don't try and like make it accordingly to like other artists, you know, just listen to the sound itself and just try and find what you like and just change it, warp it, and start messing around with it, start making melodies and just, you know, once you've got that layer in place, you'll start thinking of the next layer and the next layer, and before you know it, you've got a full track. And I don't know, I'm obsessed with music, so they need to constantly keep evolving and keep making music and just keep making stuff that makes me excited. I won't be excited if I just kept on making the same stuff over and over again, you know what I mean? I need to just keep evolving and just keep like making stuff. All of a sudden, like Churn, where did he come from? You know Churn?
He's been sick though.
Yeah, but like, I don't remember him a couple.
I feel that way with Nightboy.
Yeah, I don't remember Churn a couple of years ago, and all of a sudden he's there, and not only is he there, but he's dropped tracks that got picked up by like Fingers on My Hand, FOMH.
See, like when I see stuff like that, when I see stuff just like that, like it just shows me like I'm just not hungry enough right now.
Yeah.
I'm not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know what is in the air, what I'm doing, I'm like, fuck, I need to fix something.
You're like, is it the artwork that caught people's eye, or is it, you know, what is it? You try to figure it out, but at the end of the day, it's some people just come up, they've practiced a lot, they just make some crazy music, and it just blows everyone else out of the water, and that's basically what we want to keep on doing. You know what I mean? We want to keep on making music that just makes people like excited and hyped.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, my influences constantly change, my favourite bands constantly change. I'm listening to new stuff week from week. So it's just natural that things are going to change and things are going to, you know, the things that I find exciting are going to change. Like, just making music that we enjoy, putting it on, like, SoundCloud and stuff like that. You don't expect to get, like, anywhere, do you? No. You're like, there's an absolute ocean of people doing the same thing, and you don't expect to get anywhere with it. That's like what I said to you in the taxi today. We were like driving through, we could see like the Hollywood sign and stuff, just driving through LA, and we were just like, how was like music just brought us here? It's weird, it's nice. But it's like so weird meeting so many like producers that I've like listened to and looked up to for like so many years, and you know, it's just crazy actually being able to like tour with them and just hear the music every day and stuff like that, and meeting like obviously like I say like Mr. K and Pastel Ghost and like Eric from Death Hex, and like actually touring with like Resonata and Essex and Brothel, and you know, it's just been crazy. It's just been crazy being able to hear that like every night, and just being able to travel with them and stuff. It's just been fucking mad. The thing with me and Ethan came about when I did a remix for their track Dayside. I put that together and put it on SoundCloud. I didn't really sort of think too much of it, but then Ethan approached me and said that he wanted to work on that together. So I made it private on SoundCloud for a while. I sent him the stems of the track, all the individual layers, and he started like adding his own parts and, you know, just sending it backwards and forwards. It seemed like all the different MIDI files and everything. And it just ended up being a new track. It just ended up being Their Kindness is Charade, which is the last track on their new album. That was crazy. Like, I never expected that to happen. So that's probably like the best thing that's happened so far, is just because I've always looked up to them. Like they're the band that got me into sort of producing, because like I say before, I only really listened to like metal and deathcore and stuff like that, and then one of my friends told me to check them out, and I got the second album, and basically one night I just like put my headphones in, put that album on, and just sort of like fell asleep listening to it, and it was just weird. Like, basically I could still hear it. I was in like a half sleep, you know, where you just sort of you're not conscious, but you can, yeah, you're drifting and you can still hear the music and everything, and like it's sort of just like embedded itself in like that level of sleep, you know, because when you first start making stuff, you're always trying to find like a direction that you're going in, and it's almost like it's in the distance and you know it's there, but you can't exactly get it. I don't know, it's just been crazy. Like, I never expected to really like have anyone really like listen to the music. So for not only the people that sort of inspired me to start making music to listen, but to actually like want to work together and do shows together and stuff as well, that just like blew my mind. And like, I don't think there's anything more encouraging than like your idols sort of like wanting to work with you, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because
you never like expect that to happen. Like, I didn't anyway, like not in a million years. It's weird, like I went to HMV after like their new album was released. I went and found it and I bought it, and like I opened it up and in the booklet it says my name, and I was just like, what? It was just so weird. Like, I don't know, it just don't feel real, you know what I mean? What sort of helped define the music basically is just like a lot of just late nights, early mornings, like basically not sleeping, like making music at like 4 a.m. I find like times around like 3 and 4 a.m. are when I'm sort of like most sort of like creatively active, and like, you know, if I'm watching films or whatever, you know, like David Lynch, things like that, just like the sort of stuff that got me inspired in the first place when I first actually started, just basically like horror films and just weird sort of like, there was one like really low budget movie called Goth that I really liked, and I mean that was like one of the biggest inspirations for like the work on the new album. Like, I've got a track named that, and the fictional drug in the movie is called White Light, which is obviously the name of the album itself. There's samples from that movie in there, so it's like everything that I'm inspired by is like really heavily embedded in the work that I do, you know. I'll get ideas sometimes when I'm completely away from, you know, my capability to make music. When I'm away from a laptop, when I'm away from any instruments, that's when stuff comes to me. Because I think that's typical, you know what I mean? When I'm there in front of my music software and everything, I'm hitting this wall, and then I go away somewhere, I go to work, or I'm walking somewhere, and I suddenly get ideas. And like an idiot, the only way that I know how to sort of combat that is to just like get my phone out, get my voice recorder, and just try and like do the melodies like vocally. And I have to sort of say what is what as well. I'll be like bass, and then I'll do like a bass line, and then I'll be like the melody is like this, and I'll try and describe it to myself the best I can, because it needs to be so that when I listen to it later, I knew exactly what I was getting at. Because most of the time, if you just hear yourself doing loads of random noises, you've forgotten the whole original idea, because you're not hearing it in your head anymore. And like, once stuff leaves your head, that's my worst thing, is like getting an idea and really wanting to make it, and then not being able to make it in time. Like, I want to get back to my laptop, I want to get back to my stuff and just create it straight away. But if I'm too far away, like most of the time I just lose it. And I mean, I've had instances before where I've like dreamt a song that, and in the dream, it's not like you're aware that you're hearing music that doesn't actually exist. But then when you wake up, you realise that you've just completely dreamt that music. And to me, there's something sort of special about that, and it's like I need to make that really quickly before it goes, because like that doesn't even exist. So I need to make it. And sometimes it's rubbish. Sometimes I'll listen to it later on and be like, yep, get rid of that. But sometimes it's just, you know, it ends up being something that I finish completely. I've got a track called Alone that is basically completely melodies that were in dreams and stuff like that. Yeah, my only advice would just be weird. Just make the weirdest stuff and just, you know, just have fun with it. It's all music's supposed to be, just having fun and just putting it out and just, you know, just not caring. Just not caring. Just, you know, if you're making music that you enjoy making and you enjoy listening to, then you're not going to go wrong. You know, everyone else's opinions are sort of invalid. You're just going to keep making music that you enjoy. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. Let's get weird.